All right, on the guest segment of Flip Chat, I have with me a seasoned entrepreneur and also honorable commissioner in Kwara State. And we want to be taking a look at a book talking about the secret. It's a book that has one way impact lives all over the world, and we want to have a kind of review of this book. She is Hajia Aisha Ahman Pategi, and she is a seasoned entrepreneur who has sealed best deals in the real estate, and of course, who also double as the honorary commissioner. We'll be taking a look at the secret of success and law of attraction. You're welcome to the show. All right, now let me ask you: do success really have a secret?
Yes, it does. You know, and the secret to success is self-discipline. That's the first step. You can have all the universal laws perfected, but when a man lacks self-discipline, you definitely will not achieve full success. If you understand what I mean by full success. Yeah. So if you look at it, what is success in itself? You know, when you ask, success is different to everyone. So, but if you set a goal and you achieve it, then that is success. That means you were successful achieving it, right? And so the lack of self-discipline is what leads us to not even set a goal. Because in the metaphysics law, you have to know with certainty what it is that you want. Because like we rightly say, be careful what you ask for or what you dream of, for it shall come to pass. Whether you do it consciously or unconsciously. And so, if you lack self-discipline to even have the knowledge of understanding, you're bound to keep failing. However, through the failures come the seed of opportunities
That you can tap into.
But it takes a man of knowledge to really understand that. And that is why the Prophet Muhammad has said, a man should go in search of knowledge, even if you have to go to the end of the world, which is considered like China, like the world of China, to seek knowledge. Because when you're knowledgeable, it lessens the accidents you're gonna be facing along your life's journey. Because if you just imagine yourself being on the road, driving, and you happen to not have the knowledge that there is a bridge that it's broken, and you keep going, what's going to happen? You're going to crash, and what happens? You end up maybe losing a leg. But if you already have the knowledge and you align yourself with that knowledge, when you get to the bridge, you're going to have to make a stop. And then you now have to know that, okay, you can go the other way around, so without having to lose that leg. So you are, at the end, what truly you attract knowingly or unknowingly. Because most times, when you talk about the philosophy of law of attraction, where from the little that I can say, I understand it, you need to acquire that knowledge. And when you acquire the knowledge, you have to apply it.
So that application, there are no result.
Action.
I would say nature is not fair, for having the rich versus the poor without a balance.
Nature is fair to everybody. Like it's rightly said in the Bible, it rains on both the seen and the unseen. So nature has gifted us with everything. It's not left for us to tap into the abundance gifted to us. So how do we now say God is unfair to the poor and to the rich? In the Bible it states it's even a sin to be poor. Because to sin, it's one of the reasons, and I'm not here to say poverty, quote unquote, it's as a result of laziness. Because that's where the misunderstanding comes in. There's a difference between physical laziness and mental laziness. Because when you take all the greatest minds that have ever lived, you take Einstein, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Jesus Christ, and just name it all from Mandela to Mahatma Gandhi. It took them a process.
A creative process.
A creative process. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but I know one thing I remember learning is Einstein, I believe was when he was a kid, consistently, it was a documentary I watched, he consistently always wanted to know the mind of God. He asked, and remember, ask, say, ask,
okay.
knock, ask, seek, and knock, and you shall find.
Yeah.
And so, it's not the physical aspect of hard work. When you talk about riches, even the stupid person can become rich. The most intelligent can become rich, and yet someone extremely intelligent can be poor. But there are key principles that we refer to as the universal law, which is what you sow is what you shall reap. If you take a seed of apple and you plant it, you're definitely going to have an apple tree. So but at the same time, there's a little bit of knowledge of how to plant it. And
to make it grow.
And to make it grow. And also, then you now go into different species and how you can mix it and how. So you have to seek knowledge. You have to acquire the knowledge in order for you to be able to actually that which you seek.
Now let's take a look at the secret by Rhoda and how the law of attraction is applicable to human race.
To human race.
The law of attraction.
Law of attraction. you are what you attract. Knowingly, again, like I said, or unknowingly. Because when I first heard about the secret Baranda, I was going through a process of transition as well. And a girlfriend of mine, Lulu, permit me to mention her name, I'll never forget that. She called me and I was just complaining to her, like, oh, sales are down because, I'm into real estate, and all that, and sales are down, I don't know what to do and all that, just complaining on and on, right? And she's like, Aisha, wake up. No, stop it. Have you heard of The Secret? I was like, The Secret? Yes, it was actually on Oprah show. The lady was on Oprah show. They did a movie. Immediately, I got off the phone. Like the excitement, I felt it. And she's like, stop complaining. You are blessed. You're this. So, change your mindset. I was like, okay, that's interesting. I'm a very curious person. Immediately, I got online. And of course, she had just been on Oprah show, so you know what it is. In those days when Oprah was on, everybody's like, oh, was on Oprah. And of course, as soon as I Googled it, I read a little bit of, extract of The Secret and the biography of Rhonda as well. And I'm the sort of person who always wants to go to the root of stuff, as close to the source as possible.
Okay.
So when I read about her, apparently what led her to The Secret was her daughter presenting her with a manuscript of The Science of Getting Rich by D. Walters. And so I'm like, I want to read The Science of Getting Rich. I also want to kind of tap into that original knowledge that she got. And immediately I downloaded The Science of Getting Rich. I read it within a day or two. And I was like, wow, so I can actually do this. And the rest has been history, to be honest with you. Several times I fell off the bandwagon. I have to say that, I have to share that. And of course, reading The Science of Getting Rich, watching the movie trailer that was done, because when she came in contact with the law of attraction, she went into research and she realized, oh wow, it's in all the books, from even the Bible, the Quran, all the not in nature and all that, right? But then she's like, how do I get this into humanity presently? And now that's where creativity comes in. And of course, once you decide and you know what you want, the universe assists you in getting it done. And so the right people came together, and they came up with the movie. And because generally, if you look at it, a lot of people kind of mentally lazy to read. We all do kind of get into that zone sometimes, And so that movie really helped to bring it out. Every time I try to talk about The Science of Getting Rich, some people are like, have you heard of The Secret? And I'm like, The Secret is The Science of Getting Rich. So, of course, I've also been on that journey, for the most part.
Now, one of the law of attraction says attracts the good and not the bad. How practical is this?
I don't see life as good or bad. You see, these are where we kind of miss the mark when it comes to the philosophy of law of attraction, in my own understanding. When you look at Confucianism, which is the yin and the yang energy, it's like, do you say a female is bad and the male is good, or do you say the male is good and the bad is good?
Yeah.
I had an encounter recently, just a few days ago, and I thought to myself, I lost my cool in a situation where I felt there was injustice. And I started getting into the zone of feeling bad and guilty and ashamed and embarrassed and all that. And of course the thought came to me. I said, the opportunity that I have today of having studied in America, lived in America, learn all that I could, and come back to my country to give back to my country. No. Never judge anything. We're so quick to judge. Oh, she's bad. Oh, she was fighting. Oh, she was angry. Oh, she was that. But nature has a way. When you buckle so much and you don't find a way to get it out, you're always going to find a way to come out. It has to, because something has to happen to break the rhythm. And so I was able to come back to my zone of acceptance and not give up. Because it's easy for us to, when we start paying attention to good and bad, we'll say, oh, this is bad, and oh, this is good. We start labeling. And there's I believe this is in Surah Al-Baqarah. When you use the word judgment, because the lesson in that for Prophet was that the child was believed will grow up and instigate the parents, to lead them astray or something like that. So we're talking during the Prophet's time, and where a lot of our wisdom and guidance, whether you take the Bible or the Quran or whichever religion you practice, there's a lot of lessons that have come from that. The reason why I'm saying that is we're so quick to judge situations, but it's more of the oneness who is the best of judges. So when we try to put ourselves in that position, we end up looking at life in wrong or right. And we go back to the fact that, like I said, a war had to be fought in order for the slaves to have been freed. So now, are we going to now say that that war was wrong? So it's now left for us to, but remember that I learned something from Buddha, where Buddha said it would get to a point where a war will have to be fought, which the Prophet Muhammad also had to fight a war in order for Islam to be able to have been practiced, right? But he said at the end of it, nobody really wins. So it's always better not to fight that war. And if you look at the lesson from that, and that's where the non-violence, freedom fighters came from, the likes of Gandhi and Martin Luther King, which he got inspired, from Gandhi as well, and so these are things, but it's a process as well, to be able to even get to that kind of level.
All right. So, how powerful is our mind? Can our thoughts create a future desire?
Absolutely. Absolutely, which is the law of imagination. That's the law of attraction. Whatever you visualize comes to pass. That is, going back to what I talked about in regards to knowing what you want, having a clear picture of it, it's the hardest work any human being can embark on. Because mental work, it's the power of concentration. It takes more energy out of you than physical work. And that is where, if you can honestly sit down and have a clear picture of what you want and visualize it clearly, the physical aspect of it is effortless. It's been proven time and time again, and that's where the secret comes in. They did it. There was a few examples of a man who wanted to buy a car, and he visualized himself in the car. You can go out and have a feel of the car. We're visual. So when you touch something, it's easy for you to remember it. So
as described by Rhoda, is ask, believe, and receive. Does this really work?
Definitely, absolutely. Why? Because it's like I said, it's happened to me the first time I came in contact with the secret. I did it, and my sales went up. I remember immediately when I read the Science of Getting Rich, I practiced it, and I sold 5 houses in 1 month, and my commission went up in close to $100,000. So it's happened to me before, and it absolutely works.
Now, the secret of money is attract abundance, focus on prosperity, and give money to get money. How will you react to this person?
What you give is what you get. Whatever you put out in words, in thoughts, is what comes back to you. What do you guys say?
With what Rhonda has spelled out in the secret, if strictly followed,
it's strictly followed.
Change one level of thinking in getting wet, that is legit.
Legitimate wealth. Really, that's what you're not sure you're talking about. I'm still going to go back to good or bad. What is legitimate and what is illegitimate? I was having a conversation with my partner this morning, and there are people in America today who are in jail as a result of marijuana. But then today, some states have legalized marijuana. So when you talk about legit and illegit, you're almost kind of like putting yourself in a limit. You're kind of limiting to universal consciousness. I say that because it takes you right back to judgment as well.
Exactly.
And we have to be cautious when you're a student of the law of attraction. When you label this as good and bad, but however, we understand there are certain laws, and these laws are things that guide us. Even God has created the world to be in order. There still has to be order. You still have to abide by the law of the land. And that is where leadership comes in. That is where governance comes in. That is where the head of the household comes in. And that is where God, the fear of God, is the beginning of wisdom. And that is where the scriptures come in. The 10 Commandments comes in.
So what would be your advice to people watching this at all?
My position is that we all are on a journey. And my destination isn't your destination. So I am not in the best position to advise you as such. However, the key is seek knowledge, seek wisdom and understanding, and go to the source of knowledge. Go as close to the source of knowledge as possible. Like Prophet Muhammad rightly said, search for knowledge. Go explore is in the Quran. Go out and find is in the Bible. Ask, knock, seek, and you shall find. First step, which is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. The first is Iman, the faith, the belief that there is something greater than you. And ask so that oneness, that your Creator, to guide you, so that you will be on His path. I learned something, a takeaway from me, from Mahatma Gandhi during the struggle of India. They kind of missed the mark at some point because the Indian side started fighting the Pakistani side, and chaos and violence came in, and he went into his hunger strike. And until it stopped, he said they had missed the mark for that violence to have taken place. So it was something he learned from his mother. The hunger strike is God, it's kind of a metaphor of asking for forgiveness, going through the suffering so that you can be cleansed. And what he said was, for as long as you're on the path of truth, you will forever stand. But if you take a shortcut, you will not get to your destiny.
All right, thank you very much. I've been speaking with Hajia Aisha Ahman Pategi. She is a seasoned entrepreneur and also doubles as Honorable Commissioner for Local Government, Chieftancy Affairs and Community Development. And we are taking a look at the secret of success and of attraction. I hope you'll be able to be blessed in one way and get informed on how to actually attract success. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right, it's a wrap. Bye-bye.